These new Taylormade irons look pretty fantastic. Should we do a little compare? P770 and the P7MC look great. Let's give them a test. Let's give them a compare. One might suit your game. Right, let's kick off by going and having a look at the tech of the P770. So first thing, compact player shapes, they say, and I would have to agree. This is one of the best looking irons you will ever find. Taylormade used to make really long blades and I was never a fan, but since the P range came, they've only made fantastic looking irons. This one is as nice as it gets. Squat, quite thin top lines, totally beautiful. So we've got a forged hollow body construction in this one. So it's a forged face and steel body is what you're getting in the P770. We're also getting a 46 gram tungsten weight in this one because they're still trying to help you as much as they can, even though delivering that kind of classic look. We've also got the speed foam injected inside of this club that they're still running with. We'll see in the test, obviously, how speedy and everything and feels and all the rest of it comes out. Through slot pocket as well, which we've seen in quite a few models now. Our most flexible speed pocket. Again, trying to maximize ball speeds across the face if you do start moving away from the center of gravity. And each face is uniquely designed for performance in the different loss. Progressive inverted cone technology is still present in the absolutely stunning P770. So down by the ball, it's the P7MC that actually looks nicer, thinner top line. It's the one that looks more like your kind of bladed players irons. The P770 looks good. It maybe just doesn't look quite as good as the MC, but then if you do feel like you want to look at a bit more of a club, a top line, then the 770 might be the one that appeals to you. So good is relative to what you want, obviously. So if we hit one with the MC, it's a lovely squat little design. It's a beautiful looking head. And it sounds and feels solid, true, just as good as anything. Like it feels really, really nice off the face. Exactly what you'd want this kind of club to do. We compare that now up to the 770. Back of the 770 is just like beautiful. It's really nicely shaping and looks good. Like shop appeal of this is going to be big. Again, it's the same squat head, which I like. Just that slightly thicker top line, but not thick at all. Like it's good looking. It's like a solid little chunk of metal down there. And it's a very similar feel, sound, maybe a slightly higher pitched sound, which then in turn makes me feel like it's not quite as soft. You know, it does go back to feeling a bit more like it's not like a chunk of blade. The MC is actually feeling much more bladey, even though this one appears to be more bladey, which it obviously isn't because of the way they weight it. Should we see what the P7MC tech is all about and see how actually different it is to the 770. So it kicks off with compact grain forging. So the grain forging system Taylormade are using in this produce kind of the most solid iron they can. And then that's going to equate hopefully to a very solid feeling iron as you strike it. A narrower sole, they're saying. They're talking about turf interaction with the narrower sole. Tour inspired shaping, which you do. You see the same shaping in the P770, which is absolutely gorgeous. It comes through on this one as well. And then you get a progressive offset design as well in these, trying to maximize the looks and then flights for each club. It's a machined face and grooves, trying to give precision again in these areas. And this is what these kind of irons are looking for. They're going to be generally tested and used by their tour players and then club players after that, and they're going to want precision on numbers and delivery of data when they're hitting. They will really articulate if they're feeling something spinning too much or too little, so having a precise face all makes sense. And we get muscle cavity performance, they're saying, so we do get a little bit of barring and helping in the back, again trying to keep ball speeds up against different places of strike points on the face, just trying to help you as much as possible in launches wherever it can. At the end of the day, this is a semi-cavity backed, beautiful looking iron. And this is what I like when you start getting these kind of shapes with the assistance that the tech, they say, is having. is that even when you start getting around the greens and you're doing your other shots, you've got chips out of trees, you know, 7 iron and medium irons and all your irons, you will obviously hit such a variation of shots. If you side your iron so much in chunky or in blade, either way, it might give it that kind of less versatility in a different array of shots. And I think these brackets of clubs, both of these, kind of tick all the boxes. You feel confident while you're down at the ball, there's enough tech in there that make you feel like there's going to be some help with launches and maybe ball speeds across the face, which I've done loads of tests on that, that's very debatable, but they all say it. But the fact that then when you get to the intricate shots, the shape and the soul and the feel and the looks make you feel like you can do these kind of shots is what I think is so good about these kind of clubs. And it has to be said, and I've said it for years, the P range in the irons from Taylormade, well, they just seem to be getting better and better and better, don't they? They're just so nice. I'll pick it up. There's a new chipping god in town, and I met him last week. Definitely the more I hit them, you can feel that this is hollow body, where this does feel that bit more solid. I think as it goes for kind of your best looking bit of help club while appearing to be bladey from the back, like, this is a contender with anything. It's as good as anything out there I've seen, and it does look good down there. For me personally, I think the MC obviously got my initials on it. It's got that slightly thinner top line, which I like. It's got that more solid feel, which I definitely like, kind of 7 iron down. I don't mind when I'm losing loft to go for as much help as possible, and that's something that you need to think about when you're testing these. Like, lots of golfers could benefit. If you haven't seen my in the bag, maybe check it out. I mean, I literally get to a 7 iron and then I jump to as much launch help as I can squeeze out of an iron. But the MC just looks better from here. It sounds more true and solid, and I think you maybe, well, it's up to you to decide. For me, I feel like the 770 looks great. I don't think I would get any advantage from the hollow body compared to an MC, but maybe let's look at the numbers. I've got the numbers on the both. Let's go and check them out and then come back and see if I can hit this hanging lie shot. So let's check out the numbers between the two clubs. Now, I was quite surprised with the two numbers. So let's kick off with the lofts. I've got the lofts here. 34 degrees on the 7 iron and 33 in the P770. So the P770 is a degree stronger. We also see 2.4 millimeters offset on the 7 iron on the P770, where the MC is 2.1 millimeters offset. So you get less offset on the MC, and then you get 1 degree less loft in the MC over the 770 as well. Because what I see out of the numbers, if we look at the MC here, 157 is kind of my average carry, and the MC was spinning around 5.9, so 6,000. You remember this is indoor mat data. If I took this 7 iron onto the grass, I would be up near 6.5 to 7,000, so don't get tricked by thinking that's low spinning. It's not at all. Now if I compare that to the 770, so the 770 was 167. I mean, it's 10 yards further from 1 degree aloft, coming from lower launch, so 20 degrees compared to 21 degrees with the MC, and now 5.9 spin, nearly 6,000 with the MC, and then 5.3 with the 770. So I'm dropping a bit of spin. I'm actually gaining a little bit of height in the 770s, 36 averaging peak height compared to 34 with the MC. So a bit more height, lower launch, lower spin. To be honest with you, I was surprised that the 770 was that much stronger than the MC. So like if you were ever comboing these, you would definitely end up having maybe 2 6 irons like I've had before. I had that with Titleist before. I haven't got it at the moment, but I could be close to having it if I went a certain set makeup. And then, I mean, for me, I would want to test that a bit more. I was surprised that 1 degree made such difference. It shouldn't, 1 degree aloft should be like 3 yards, 4, 5 yards most. 10 yards, I was quite impressed. But obviously we do lose the spin in the P770. And I don't think that's a bad thing. Again, if you take the 770 out onto the grass, this would be 6,000, 6,200. I'm around the number of the club to 500 less from the grass. So there's enough spin, and you've got to remember it's peaking height more, so the descent angle's there to help me as well. Both very good performing irons. I was just slightly surprised by the gap between them. So again, I think P770 is a little bit juiced up where the MC is very, very classic, and obviously it would blend a bit more with the bladed MC probably than it would the 770. But I do still think these two clubs are ones that people would be considering. You know, am I good enough for that MC, or shall I go for the hollow-backed numbers? Just surprised by the split. So for me, definitely MC. I think it just does everything. It's a really good combination of launch assistance, some way, great sound, great feel, amazing looks. And I thought when these arrived, I'd prefer the look of the others. Oh, just caught the bunker. Not that I don't love the look of the P770, it does look great. I just think the MC is more what I want. Be interesting what you want. Let me know in the comments out of the two when you've looked at them, if you haven't already, before even testing, which one lights your lemon the most. They're good, aren't they? They haven't made a bad iron for a long time now. And Taylormade irons used to be so... Whoever was making the Taylormade irons before the P range came, I wonder if they're in like some back office now, like ticking boxes, because the P range have only got better and better and better. One more hole to play with them. I'm already looking forward to hitting them both again. So for me, I'm an MC guy. Ovs out of the two. I think it feels more solid, more true, looks great, and you know, I mean, it looks as good as anything out there. It feels as good as anything out there. The numbers are true as anything out there. The P range and the P7MC just is great. If you're not putting this on your test list, I would be shocked. Because it is just a really good looking, sounding, feeling club. Foams and everything else with these two, doobie-doo. Good numbers, that's what they produce. And I think the 770 looks better from here. This sells it. Pictures like this of it here sells it. This, for me, a little less, but it might to you, because you might want that help. This has been happening for years, and doobie-doo. Do-be-do. And what's in here, you know, the old whoosh speed foam and all that kind of stuff, la-di-da. Like, I have not seen any numbers move because of that. But if we forget all their jazz and look at what they produce, yes, just looks really solid and nice. I'm so pleased they moved away from the long blade lengths that they used to do. There is not much in the feel of these two. 7 iron down, MC. Could I combo these and that kind of idea? Possibly, but again, when I go to my 6 iron, I just jump to really chunky, and it's something that you maybe should think about when you're testing. These have come from a fitting cart, and the problem is they just provide 7 irons. You've got 7 irons for them all. So, yeah, good luck getting fit for that. Probably some of the best irons Taylormade have ever made. That's in my opinion as well. Oh, in my opinion, eh? Biased as always. Got a nice power caddy now. I'm old.